If you're researching Acumatica, it probably means your business is growing fast and you need a full ERP to replace your Frankenstein of QuickBooks add-ons. After years of helping companies find software, I know Acumatica has some real advantages, but it's far from perfect. You'll need to find the right partner, or it can cost you twice what you expect. In this video, I'll give you the good, the bad, along with pricing numbers you won't hear from the vendor, so you can decide if Acumatica makes sense for your business. Acumatica works best for growing small businesses and mid-sized companies looking for their first ERP, usually between 20 and 200 employees. People really like its flexibility, where you can pick and choose your modules that fit your needs. And look, it's not as popular as NetSuite, but don't let that fool you. It's used by over 10,000 companies, which is a lot for an ERP. But if you want to know how it stacks up against the heavy hitters like NetSuite, we're here to help. At Software Connect, we'll give you demos and price quotes with ERPs that meet your exact requirements for free. Just visit softwareconnect.com to find the best fit for your business. But overall, there's a lot to like about Acumatica. First, it's cloud native. Second, they offer several industry-specific packages. And third, it's very configurable. One of the major draws is that it's cloud native, so you can access it through a web browser instead of downloading it to your computer. And this isn't as common as you'd think. A lot of popular ERPs like Sage X3 or SAP Business One were originally built for on-premise deployment, then had to be changed later on. This gives it a faster server response time, easier integrations, and automatic upgrades. It's way more future-proof and easier to scale. It also stands out with its industry-specific additions. It offers 6: general business, construction, manufacturing, distribution, retail, and professional services. Each package includes modules built for that specific vertical, like MRP for manufacturing or project management for construction. Versatility is one of the main reasons it's become so popular. A ton of companies use it, and they do a good job of making each package unique to the space. Speaking of versatility, I want to talk about its modular architecture. You can add any new modules at any time, even while you're mid-contract. It's really nice for small businesses that don't need a whole suite right away. Then as you grow, you can add on tools like order management or CRM. You can remove modules if you need to, but they can only be dropped at your contract renewal date. The flexibility extends to its open APIs too, so you can integrate pretty much any platform to your tech stack. So say you're a construction company. You like Procore for your project management, but you need a better accounting system. With Acumatica, you can integrate them to create a two-way data sync. This gives you a lot more room to work with when choosing your modules. But despite some great aspects of the software, I do have my gripes with it. First, the UI isn't as clean as I'd like. Second, it's sold exclusively through their partner network, so you can't buy it through them directly. Third, it can be too generalized for some industries. The first problem I have with Acumatica is its UI. I've definitely seen worse, but it's just not up to the standards of other ERPs like NetSuite or SAP. A lot of the screens have a stale gray and white pattern, making it seem older than it is. It's one of those things where it's good enough, but you may not love interacting with it every day. I also don't like that Acumatica is sold exclusively through value-added resellers, or VARs. I want to be clear that this is not inherently bad. We work with several amazing VARs ourselves that we know provide great services. The problem lies in the broader market quality. If you choose a bad reseller on your own, you can end up with poor configurations or bad support. My advice, be just as thorough in your partner selection. It's arguably more critical as you'll be with them for the long haul. So remember those industry editions I talked about earlier? Well, sometimes they can make it feel like a jack of all trades, master of none. This really comes down to its features. They work great if your workflows are pretty straightforward, but if you're in something like complex industrial manufacturing, it lacks the depth you need. So fair warning, if you have a lot of custom processes, you may want to look at some alternatives for your space. Now let's talk about pricing. This is where Acumatica sets itself apart from other ERPs, but it can get confusing fast. Keep in mind that the pricing can vary significantly between different partners, so the figures I'll mention here are general ranges. Here's the breakdown of how it determines your licensing costs. Acumatica uses a resource consumption-based model, so the higher the transaction volumes or data storage, the higher the cost. The trade-off, you don't pay a per-user fee like most ERPs. You also have Industry Edition and extra modules that factor in. They have an Essentials plan that starts at $6,000 per year, but don't get your hopes up on this one. It's an extremely watered-down plan that basically includes financials and inventory only. Most smaller companies can expect to pay around $21,000 to $34,000 per year for a full license. For mid-sized organizations, the range is much wider, anywhere from $35,000 to $150,000 per year. But don't forget about implementation fees. These are the one-time fees that usually cost twice your yearly subscription. Then add on any potential hidden fees like customizations or integrations. These add up fast. For reference, here's how it stacks up against NetSuite. In the end, you'll get more bang for your buck from Acumatica if you have a lot of users. That said, NetSuite could be cheaper if you have only a couple of users, but other factors will still come into play. What it boils down to is this. Acumatica offers more flexible pricing than other ERP vendors that scale without per-user fees. The catch is that it may require more customizations if you have specific workflows. So what's my final verdict? I really like Acumatica if you're a mid-market company looking to scale. It stands out in the market with its pricing flexibility and multi-industry support. However, its features are somewhat basic, so can fall short if you need complex industry-specific workflows out of the box. But overall, it's a very solid system that can rival the big names like NetSuite. And if you want to compare other options, head over to our full ERP roundup page. You may find some other products that look even better, like Business Central or even something like Odoo. And if you need help in your search, reach out to us at softwareconnect.com for a free needs analysis. What industry is your company in? Have any specific questions about Acumatica? Let us know in the comments. We're happy to help. If you like this video, check out our video on the best ERP systems of 2025 and see how they stack up against Acumatica.